Y'all know what it is, Sessions 365 TV. I done pulled all the way up to Houston, tapping in.
Girl, Guch, you know what I'm saying? The dope way, the way up queen, bro. The fuck you want to call it? From New Orleans, you heard me? 7 Wall Hard Head, yeah. That shit was like trying to survive through that shit, man. Like, I ain't experienced a lot of things till I left there on some shit. So it's like I started to live once I left there.
What does trying to survive, what does that mean? What that look like?
It was so many different things that they had to experience from elementary to middle school to high school. It was like, I could really categorize my shit as fighting to get to school. Like everything was like separated. So it's like you got your hoods, right? So you gotta rep your hood. But when you go to school, you could be going to school with different niggas, different hoods, so you rep your school. So it's like shit, in the morning, I gotta, ride for my school, and I'm going to school. So it's like, I might fight with an opposite school that might be a nigga from my hood. So I gotta fight to get to school. I gotta fight to get home. And if I'm in my hood, I gotta fight in the hood. So it was like, shit. Living wasn't necessarily a thing out there. You hear me? It was more so like surviving and learning how to, you know what I'm saying? Like, still float out there with some shit. Knowing the do's and the don'ts and shit, just how to really make it to the next day, next week on some shit without getting your ass whooped or getting murked on some shit. That's what that was out there, you know what I'm saying? Tourists and shit. It's, you got the bourbon, it's the fun shit like that, you know what I'm saying? That you can experience and have fun, but it's like shit. Even with shit like that, we went to the parades, but really we went to the parades to catch an eye on some shit. Like, it's a bitch I've been tweeting to say I know I'm gonna catch at the parade. So it's like, we gonna catch them bands, fuck them bees, but I'm catching that nigga right there. So everything, it was like surviving out there.
So growing up, was it just you? You had sisters, brothers, got siblings?
I got brothers, man.
Parents?
Like, I ain't got no sisters on some shit. Just, people I, met over the years in my, lifestyle or whatever. But I got 2 brothers, me, my 2 brothers, and my mom. Like, I ain't never, from far as I can remember, my oldest brother, he ain't grew up in the household with us. He grew up around us on some shit, you feel me? Like, I looked up to him, for a long time on some shit. That nigga was like, shit, my big dog. He got the bread, he got the cars. So that I always wanted shit like that, but he ain't never really just give a fuck about shit like that either. I got it. Whatever, he gave back to us,
You have to tell me about what experiencing Katrina was like. I mean, where were you when you found out that it was about to be a Hurricane Katrina?
Man, I was fucking sleep on some shit. Like the night before, me, my partners on some shit. Like I say, everything for us was surviving out there. Like we really, we was in like a fight with the police and shit that night. So it was like real fucking squabbling with the police or some shit. So it was like, we stayed up all night talking about the shit, laughing about the shit. So we all piled up at my house. We wake up in the morning. My mama called on some shit. She like, what y'all still doing? Sleeping. Like, how can I help you? So she was like, shit, basically just like, y'all don't know about the hurricane and it was crazy because ain't nobody in the fucking house, nobody. Like, no fucking body. So
y'all wasn't watching the news or nothing?
I've always had a thing against the news, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was reversed back to me saying shit was surviving out there. It was like, when you come radio, every time you know somebody getting killed, you don't even want to watch that shit. Gotcha. And that's what it was for me. Every time I cut that bitch on, somebody I know can't nowhere in the fucking city. So when we actually pulled up with my mom, and she really was on, she was one of the people at that time that, they say like people don't go down with this city. Nobody took it serious on some shit. Cause I guess they experienced shit like that in their time or whatever. So shit, by the time we still couldn't find gas, by the time we left on some shit, it was like, we only made it so far. So we hit, when the hurricane hit, we was actually in a parking lot at Walmart somewhere, but we wasn't in New Orleans no more, but I guess we caught the backlash of the shit or whatever. But I guess, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the big effect or something. Cause like shit, when I did hear from my mama again, she was just like, checking in. She was like, it's water rising and da this, da that, and the storm's still going, and all of a sudden the phone went off. And I'm like, I ain't gonna stand. I think it was probably like a week before, I told my mom, I ain't know my mom dead, alive, what? All I know is I'm watching. I'm watching the news and it was like, it was like, this is exactly why I'm fucking watching the news. I'm watching these dead bodies and shit. So it was, that would say that was like the most difficult time of my life to actually fucking go through. Like, I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody.
So what was you thinking during that week when you couldn't get in touch with your mom and you just watching the news, hearing about all this tragedy?
I mean, my little brother, he was with me, like, my oldest brother, we kind of been estranged. I heard it was tough for him, like, shit, forever or some shit. It was mostly like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always been like that strong one for my little brother, so shit, it was like, shit, you know, we gonna be good. Like, none of us left with clothes, we ain't had shit, but the clothes on our bodies, so I'm like, fuck, you know, I'm gonna make sure you straight, like, she good, you know, she straight on trip, on some shit, but it was mostly like, fuck, I don't know what to do. At this point, I'm like a pre-adult on some shit, and it's like, I got my brother, I don't know my mama here, I don't know what my family, I don't know nobody is, so I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna do with a fucking teenager, like thinking like I'm gonna have to raise him, like, whatever. It was mostly like, fuck, so I'm gonna have to shape. But yeah, that shit, it was kind of like, it wiped my whole body, like, I didn't know what the fuck to do, to be honest, bro. It was like, shit, whatever I gotta do, that's what I'm gonna do.
And did you lose people close to you?
Still didn't identify a lot of motherfucking people. But like, I was separated from like a lot of people, a lot of friends and family for months. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was crazy. Like, I want to say we ain't get in touch with my mom. Said close to going on a month. Like when she actually, you know, was back in our presence on some shit. Okay. So it was like shit. I was just me and my brother thugging him, you know. One of my partners.
Did you come straight to Houston?
Nah, we went to Tennessee, Memphis on some shit. Was it Memphis? Yeah, I think it was Memphis. One of them was Tennessee, but we went there first on some shit. Like, nigga tried to settle in, but I don't know. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of things about people from New Orleans. We got to really feel where we at. Oh, we moved the fuck around. We can't do it. And it was like shit for me at that time, you know. Hoes was a thing for me. Yeah. Even I was in a relationship at that time, but you know, it was what it was. But you know, that was the thing for me, and I just felt like, oh, the females out there, I saw that big ass for you. I couldn't do it. I literally left that place because I didn't see nothing I felt like looked good to me. I had to move around. And everybody I knew, it was like everybody, well, we going to Houston, People calling me from the Ashton, where you at? I'm like, shit, we about to pack up and go to fucking Houston. So yeah, that's how I ended up in Houston.
And how long have you been here?
Shit, about a month after the hurricane hit, I think we came to Houston.
A month?
Probably a little bit after a month because I didn't run into, like basically we didn't connect back with my mom until we moved to Houston. Like the entire time in Tennessee, like, so when I got to Houston, you know what I'm saying, I started meeting a lot of different people and shit, you feel me? And it was like everybody wanted to be a rap out here, so it was so much shit for me to get into, like on some shit, like when I started finding out about showcases, that was, you know, a thing, like, you know, they set some shit up and a bunch of people get up there performing shit, so I started out just going to that shit, checking shit out. And like, fuck. I went to a showcase, ran into, that's when I first met Wicked Cricket, and he was like in my head to perform on some shit, and I'm just like, nah, I'm just here, you know, support just watching on some shit. I was like, I rap or whatever, but you know, so he was like, shit, get up there and do your thing. Like, shit, I got up there, did my little thing, and he was just like, man, I don't know what you do. He thought I was a shy person, I guess, because of the way I like, you know, handle the situation. He just more so like, man, whatever you do, like, keep pushing, you got something on some shit. And like every time I seen him after that, it was like, it was no doubt about it. He remember who I was. He remember that day. It was like he was rocking with me ever since. So like I basically could say, just because of him, I really started just like fucking with music tough, like just putting into it on some shit. Trying to put teams and shit together and shit, like, oh, that bullshit. After the hurricane, me being in different places, you know, around different people, I really got to see the difference of how I felt growing up and the things I had to deal with. Not, I could walk outside, mind my business, and go with my business without looking like, damn, I'm gonna go this way, so I'm running to such and such, because I ain't in the mood to fight. Like, I really could just live, you hear me? Like, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? Beef ain't never squashed, you just die down sometimes, but it's a difference when you're in a different environment and you're around the normal. you move different. You can actually go out and eat somewhere and not have to look over your shoulder. You know, you can actually go to a fair, you know, or go to a football game without just feeling like you can watch it pop off with other people. You like, I'm actually good, I can really live. You feel me? Like, it wasn't no really living on some shit like, and nigga ain't got no morals or like nothing out there. It's like, ain't no big dogs, you know, it's, you know, dog eat dog out there. So niggas ain't got no respect or none of that shit out there. You know, it's every man.
Would you say like yo experience or past experience inspires your music?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Like, I go through a lot of different shit, you know what I'm saying? Personal, business wise, different shit like that. I do speak on other situations that's not, you know, personally mine, but it's experiences from close people to me that I know what I'm saying is facts, you feel me? In some kind of way, I'm gonna always let it, the verbiage is gonna make it known that it ain't personally me that went through it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking, telling my side of it or whatever the case may be, but yeah, like 95% of the shit is personal experience.
So is that important to you that if they are gonna rap about close, I guess, experiences and not actually first-hand experiences, I guess, distinguishing your music that you're saying like, my partner will run up on you and not I'll run up on you if that's not?
I mean, I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of motherfuckers invite certain shit to their life and they ain't really living like that. They wouldn't even live like that if the opportunity presented itself, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people dealing with shit nowadays because they talk a good game, but eventually that opportunity presented itself and they're like, man, I ain't even cut like that. Now they want to involve police and shit. So, you know, I do feel like that's very big to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't speak on something you don't know about.
Tell a story about Soulja Slim.
Man, like, he was like the fucking hood legend. He was like, you know, he was the zero on some shit. But it was like, the type of nigga he was, you had no choice but to really respect it. And it was like, shit, I was at a fucking, I don't know what was going on in the area, but it was a lot of people out. But I know I was at Radley's on some shit.
What's Radley's?
Radley's is like, it's y'all checkers. I think I just walked up on some shit and like somebody was trying to stop me, like, you know, like I was skipping him on some shit and he was most on some like, you know, not like go ahead. But I'm like, nigga was like, you don't know who that is on some shit. And I'm just like, shit, he wasn't one of them niggas like, you had to, you know who he is, or it was like he was a genuine real nigga on some shit. But I would have never guessed he was who he was, how he handled the situation on some shit, you feel me? But it just so happened that was Soulja Slim like standing in line with me at fucking Radley's. This is whole drive-through. You wouldn't think a nigga like that would be standing out at no big ass event on some shit, but yeah, like, you know, I grew nothing but love and respect from that, you know what I'm saying, that point forward on some shit. It was like, I still jam that nigga to this day. Like, some music you can't get rid of. Some of that shit you could feel that realness in it, the reality of it. Some shit you can feel the fiction in it. It don't make it less good, but that real shit, it touches you different on some shit, like, especially when you know you live in that same life on some shit. You know, celebrities nowadays, whether they B, C, D-list celebrities, like most of them, they Hollywood, they cocky, there ain't no going up to them asking for pictures, nothing. Like, everybody nowadays is like, they say, you know, they love their fans, but you don't feel that love when we run into you. Niggas feel like, shit, you know, yeah, we corona and you trying to stay away from the virus on some shit like nigga, you know, we the reason you living that life, but nigga can't get a pic with you, you know, nigga can't even just say what's good, I'm your biggest fan or something. It's like, nowadays you gotta go through a fucking survey to even talk to these niggas.
Right. And then fast forward a little bit, you got the feature from B King.
Yeah.
That game to a couple of artists out here that might not know.
I mean, shit, everything, like, the shit is a hustle, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, people get features just based off people's names and fan base and shit like that, or they level of statue in the industry. They don't really just think, you know, longevity-wise with the record, you know what I'm saying, what they gonna do with it and shit. So it's like, a lot of times, I just recently seen an artist going through it. It was like they ended up getting a feature from an artist, and then it was time to do promotion or whatever, and they couldn't even get the motherfucker to post it on their page or do nothing else with the record. It was like, well, shit, you know, they wanted more money to do that on some shit. So it was like, for me, I'm like, well, shit, at that time, I kind of like knew certain shit. It was just more so like, you know what I'm saying? Shit I used to do, I knew better. So I was like, shit, I had already did the feature. So that's why I messed up. I had already did the feature when I'm just like, shit, it's time to do the video, time for the, you know, promotion part of the shit. So I was like, bam, I drew up a little contract. And I'm like, I put a clause in there that, you know, he had to at least post it once on, you know, his social media, you feel me? And it was like, I wasn't getting no more responses no more. It was like, nigga wasn't trying to hear that shit. So it was like, I'm like, you know what, let me try something. I took the clause out the motherfucking contract and sent it back. Nigga signed it. So it was like, for me, I had already fucked up. I had already did the feature, you hear me? So it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna run with it. But I feel like that's why he got the respect for me he had for me now, because everything I did with that record, I did without him on some shit. So to the point where now, like, sometimes you're gonna have to put that extra work in to even get these niggas to acknowledge and accept and open their eyes on some shit. Mm-hmm. But you can't necessarily go out doing features with artists and you don't have the budget, like, you know what I'm saying, some real little bread to the side to put behind the promotion of that record. You wanna make sure the artist you get that feature with is willing to at least share it in their stores, share it somewhere. Because if you're trying to reach their fan base and they not acknowledging me, they're not gonna post it not even once on social media, you still only reaching your fan base. Your fan base is just seeing you pretty much, you know, oh, they really working. No, you trying to expand yourself to a different crowd. So you wanna make sure you get that understanding before you even do the feature with this person. Hey, look, you know, it's okay to pull out, you know, it's okay to drop a contract. Or if you have a personal relationship on some type of level with that artist, you want to make sure you get some of that shit up front. But for me, I'm not fucking. I want a contract done because, hell, I ain't got time to be out here taking shit the street way with niggas. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this shit the business way and get it right. So if I'm going to do a feature, if I'm going to pay you, you know what I'm saying, $3,000-$4,000 for a feature, I'm not just paying you because I want your name on my shit, because I don't look at no celebrity like that.
Right.
So it's like, hell, make this shit make sense for me, you feel me? Hey, I need you to post it, you know, at least once on your social media. I don't give a fuck when you do it. You can post that bitch at 3 in the morning when everybody's sleep. It don't matter, right. You feel me? Or if you gonna put a post, outsmart a nigga. The post has to be up at least 24 hours. Make sure you have those clauses stated so you don't gotta worry about what a nigga will do or what a nigga won't do, you feel me? Because a lot of niggas, like, they name is all they have and they work their ass off for their name, so they ain't giving you shit free. You feel me? I ain't about
to... a little bit about the voicemail song in that video.
Shit, that was a dedication record to my best friend that was killed in March last year. Shit. And man, fuck. It was kind of like that entire situation kind of like still kind of like haunting me, because I'm usually up to date on certain shit involving the close people in my life on some shit. But at the same time, you know, everybody who they are on some shit. My nigga was a go-getter, but at the same time, she was greedy, you feel me? It was like she didn't know when to walk away from certain shit, turn certain shit down, and not even fuck with certain shit, you feel me? So it's like shit, it's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Still to this day, you know, nigga don't really just know the full back end story of that shit. But yeah, like, I got fucking woke up to text messages and shit, like, don't get on social media, call me first, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and I woke up to a text from somebody like, damn, T gone. And I'm thinking they talking about another nigga that I don't really just give a fuck about. So I'm just like, what the fuck you telling me for? But when I seen a text from a specific person that I know, this nigga know, not to even reach out to me, I knew the T he was talking about. So I just said, bro, sis, like, as soon as he asked, I'm like, I ain't called, I'm FaceTiming. She crying, I just hung the phone up, like, let me call my dog, bitch. Something y'all, right now, y'all is bullshitting me.
Right.
But, yeah, like, shit. So, fuck. That's what pretty much brought about, you know what I'm saying? Voicemail, like, it's like that's all I had left to really just, you know, hear up my nigga or some shit. But, yeah, that nigga was like my rock, my motivation. Like, a lot of times people feel like if a nigga ain't with you 24/7, around you 24/7, then you know. But I'm like, that's one nigga I can say, if I'm wrong, they gonna tell me I'm wrong. You feel me? I don't give a fuck what time of day it is. That nigga pulling up. I had a dog Love that little motherfucker, dog died. I had called this nigga like 2, 3 in the morning. And they got up and woke this girl up to come to my house and get my dead dog off the floor, put it in a box and get rid of it for me. Like, just, that's a, you know, that's a friend I think I'll never have again on some shit. A bond with a person that gonna forever be, you know, lost to me on some shit, you know.
Did you meet T here or at home?
In Houston. I met T in Houston like a long time ago on some rap type shit, you feel me? And it's like the bond grew from there, like we grew in a family. So it's like shit, we started working as a team. Like I started this little team called Starstruck Entertainment back when shit, it was a bunch of little dice rap. That's when my dog was like rapping and you know what I'm saying? Like she was a cold battle rapper, you feel me? And I was trying to basically like help her, you know, build songs and structures with songs. She was the bars. The fucking, you know, that battle rap shit is a whole total different lane, but that was her lane on some shit. So it was like shit, we started running that shit. Team kind of went separate ways. That nigga was still always right there. Then I started Trap Gang with a whole nother set of motherfuckers and shit. But it was like that nigga ain't never left on some shit. Even when she didn't give a fuck about the rap shit no more, it was straight street shit. It was like, bitch, you stay over there, like, you know what I'm saying? We both lived that life at one point, but it was like, you stay over there, you out, we out, you know what I'm saying? So,
that's real.
Yeah.
If you could go pick T up for 24 hours, what would y'all do?
Shit, run away with it, can't take her again.
Already. Long live
I
T.
be that in some fire ass plans. Ready this shit.
Already. And shout out to Mo Caro, she did her thing on that song. How did you and June develop y'all relationship?
Oh man, like me and June, like mindset wise, and I ran into homie at a I think it was a Loud Fest media pass, and I'm like, I'm her manager at the time, I'm chopping over her, and I'm like, I'm looking, I'm just seeing homie at her on the bowl, so I'm like, my head like, check the homie out, some shit, you hear me? So I'm listening to the music, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? What is that? She was like, well, you know, that's my audible. So I'm like, this motherfucker ain't gonna introduce me to son or nothing. So I'm like, alright, so I'm standing, I'm fucking with it. So I'm you know, I'm saying homie, but I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm like, say, nigga, that's you. I'm like, yeah, nah, fuck with that shit on some shit, whoop the whoop. So, you know, homie was on something like, yeah, nah, I appreciate that shit, you know what I'm saying? Whoop the whoop. I got 3, you feel me? That was the first record we tapped in on some shit. And I felt like I wanted to talk my shit on that record to a certain extent, but I knew that nigga was gonna talk her shit. You feel me? So I'm like, that was a perfect nigga to put on that record. Then she back go put me on one of hers, and I got her on another one of mine. So it's like, shit, we really like about to work on like a whole project. It seemed like every time we do a record together, like people like tweaking for us to drop that bitch. So we was like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and drop a project. So, you know, we debating on that shit. Like, if we just want to go ahead and put a project out together. But, like, I fuck with a homie, man. Homie cool people on some shit.
Yeah, that's what's up. I said what I said. I like that. That's actually a dope track for both of y'all. Like, y'all complimenting each other on there for sure.
Yeah, man. Dangerous, bro. That's new single. It's out everywhere. That's my little baby right now. Dangerous my baby for me right now. I'm breaking milestones with that motherfucker unexpectedly just by myself. Like, I dropped that bitch on the 5th. I was already at 100 streams in 2 days on some shit. And I ain't put no extra promotion towards it yet. Okay. The record is very dear to me. It's kind of like my breaking record from coming back off a break. You feel me? Like, right. I've been...
Welcome back.
Yeah, I've been like so up and down, inconsistent, you know what I'm saying, for the last like year and a half, really. You know what I'm saying? That half I was getting back in my mode and my best friend got killed. It was like I ain't really didn't know what to do after that on some shit. So Dangerous was like my breaking record that I felt I could briefly explain what I'm about to do and how I'm about to go about doing it and how shit just... Sometimes you just can't fuck with shit because that shit get dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Right. Regardless to whether it's friendships, relationships, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's just like shit. Some shit you just can't fuck with that shit get
what I like to do at the end is some little fun questions.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you 30 seconds and I'm gonna say something like, you might say blue. Or I might say blue, you might say sky. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. You got 30 seconds. I got 10 of them to answer as many as you can. You ready?
Fuck it, let go.
Yeah. We're gonna start. 3, 2, 1. New Orleans.
City.
Jordan.
Kicks.
Football.
Throw.
Gay club.
Dice.
Money.
Spin it.
Guch.
Me.
Stud.
Lane.
6.
I need it.
Trap game.
Gang.
Lil Nas X.
Gay as fuck.
You almost got it too.
Look.
You almost got it.
Look, gay as fuck. That's my nigga. I like that nigga though. I love that nigga, man. Unapologetically himself.
Yeah, straight up, man. Alright, y'all know what it is. Sessions 365 TV. We signing out with
Guch.